Okay. So enough about this. I'm sure you're sick of answering these questions. So let's just talk about what we're here to talk about now with the Steelers. Obviously the big story coming into 2020 is the return of Ben Roethlisberger, but there's a lot more additions as well. I mean, you look at what they did in free agency, what they did in the draft. How do you feel about the Steelers coming into 2020 just in general?
I'm ready to go, man. I've been dubbing it like you guys are pumping it. It's Big Ben revenge tour, but I think it's really a revenge tour for everybody, because for whatever reason, the national talking heads seem to think that an 8-8 team that played majority of the season with an undrafted free agent rookie quarterback, that was on the verge of making the playoffs and going into Week 17, for whatever reason, they believe that getting your Hall of Fame quarterback back is going to somehow revert them, like it's going to make them go backwards. It makes absolutely zero sense to me. I do not understand what people like Cowherd and Nick Wright and Nate Burleson and Peter Schrager, all these people, I just don't understand their logic. It doesn't make any sense at all. Like when you're a quarterback like Ben Roethlisberger should account for at least, at the minimum, 3 wins, right? I mean, you get him coming back, so at least from last year, looking at 11-5, 10, definitely 10-6. You look at the Buffalo game from last year. You look at the Jets game from last year. All these games where the defense only gave up 16, 17 points.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the offense just could not get anything going. So I'm ready to go for 2020. I think, and I know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be eating their words on freezing cold takes come November, December, when in regards to the Steelers, because I just don't see this team being 6-10. I don't see it being 7-9. The defense is not an issue. You had more playmakers with Ebron and Chase Claypool on the offensive side. McFarland's going to be a nice addition out of the backfield. Hopefully James Conner can stay healthy. I don't understand why this team wouldn't be considered anything less than 10-6 or 11-5.
Yeah, and somebody just brought up. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I watched the clip of Coward on Twitter whenever he was talking about the Steelers, and he said he'd go 7-9. Last year they went 8-8 with Duck, so I don't know how getting Ben back reverts them to they lose a win by doing that. That makes absolutely no sense.
It makes zero sense. And you look at the schedule. You look at our schedule. I know it's on paper. I know it's May. A lot of things can change, whether, just teams who bounce back or surprise teams or injuries obviously going to play a factor. But, I mean, there's a stretch. I forget right off the top of my head, but there's a stretch where we play, 3 or 4 games at home in a row early in the season. I mean, we have the road, we start on the road, of course, in New York, like we always do. Mm-hmm. That doesn't scare you at all. And then you come back home for 2 home games, and then you have a nice stretch in between there in October where you're home for quite a few games. I just, I don't, I'm with you, man. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand it. But you know what? Keep letting them fuel the fire, because I know Big Ben and all these people hear it. I know that they hear it. So let them fuel the fire and have them be surprised when, we're looking at 11-5 or 12-4.
Yeah, another thing that I don't understand is that the media makes it seem like Ben Roethlisberger is so washed up now because of his elbow injury, when the year prior he had over 5,000 yards passing. Like, I don't know. I mean, obviously we have to see him play, but I don't think there's going to be that much of a drop-off where he's just like a washed-up quarterback now.
No, that's what I've been saying as well. I mean, 2018 was his best statistical season all around. And then all of a sudden, he gets hurt game 2. Game 1 was a wash against New England. I mean, that was a buzzsaw. The Steelers are never going to win in there, especially opening night. I mean, that was just a complete blank show. But you go in the second game, and he gets hurt on a fluke injury. And then, like you said, all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, he's washed up. How does having a fluke elbow injury mean he's washed up? Especially coming off the last season and 2017, 2 of his best statistical seasons ever in his career. I mean, if that BS Jesse James call doesn't happen in 2017, the Steelers beat the Patriots. Big Ben's the MVP that season. People forget that. He's the MVP of 2017. The Steelers were 12-2. They were probably going to go at least 13-3 like they did, or 14-2. They're going to be the first seed in the AFC playoffs. I know that didn't happen, but my point is that if that call isn't changed, Big Ben is the MVP in 2017. He has his best statistical season in 2018. A freak injury happens in 2019, and then everybody's hitting here telling me they're going to go 6-10 because Big Ben's washed up. Not going to happen.
Hey, our YouTube video editor, obviously Tyler knows him as Sarge, just popped in right now and said, "Can you just tell Joey that your editor and best friend Sarge says hello?"
Sarge, what's up, man? Big salute to you.